We've known this one was coming for quite some time now. The BMW M2 Coupe is now official, displacing the M235i from the top of the 2 Series Coupe range. The M2 Coupe is powered by a 3.0-litre closed-deck single-turbo direct injection 6-cylinder engine producing 370 HP and 465 Nm of torque, overboost to 500 Nm available, and can be had with either a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed MDCT dual-clutch gearbox. As you would have noticed already from the single turbo count, this isn't the same engine as the one found in the M3 and M4. But BMW has given it some features from the M3/M4 engine to differentiate it from the regular 3.0-litre in cars like the M235i. Components like pistons with their top ring optimized for the use of grey cast iron liners and crankshaft main bearing shells are sourced from the BMW M3/M4 engine. An additional oil sump cover helps to limit the movement of oil under powerful acceleration. An extra oil suction pump sends the oil back to the rear part of the oil sump when the driver brakes heavily. A suction system is employed for the oil supply to the turbocharger under higher vehicle acceleration. This is all to ensure that the oil supply to the engine remains secure at all times. The M2 can hit the 100 km/h mark in just 4.3 seconds with the MDCT since it shifts faster than any human ever could and also has a launch control feature. Shift yourself with the 6-speed manual gearbox and you'll get there in 4.5 seconds. The car has a top speed of 250 km/h, but you can unlock an additional 20 km/h with the M Drivers package. Both figures are electronically limited. But the focus here isn't quite 100 km/h sprints or top speed tests. The M2 is all about the driving experience and BMW's press release specifically mentions that the M2 has been trackability tested on the Nürburgring Nordschleife circuit. We definitely saw prototypes on the car on test there a few times in the specials we've published previously. BMW calls this the descendant of cars like the 1 Series M Coupe, E30 M3 and the classic BMW 2002 Turbo. BMW M's latest car features a lot of hallmark M features like quad tailpipes, with an electronically controlled exhaust flap system, and wider fenders to accommodate the increased track, but curiously it is missing the bespoke wing mirrors that all M cars get. On the inside you get lots of Alcantara finishing, sports seats, an M Sports steering wheel and an M shift lever. The car also gets an active M differential, 0 to 100% locking, M compound brakes and M dynamic mode. The default wheels are 19-inch forged alloys with mixed size Michelin Pilot Supersport tires 245/35ZR19 at the front and 265/35ZR19 at the rear. The chassis gets lightweight aluminium front and rear axles, aluminium suspension struts and a tubular anti-roll bar. In order to ensure precise wheel location, play-free ball joints are used to transmit transverse forces. The stiffening plate and additional bolted connection between the axle subframe and the body sills, which increases the stiffness of the front end structure, also has a positive influence here. The longitudinal forces passing through the suspension are transmitted into the torque struts directly via special elastomer bearings, and this delivers the desired rolling comfort at the same time. All the control arms and wheel carriers of the new BMW M2's 5-link rear axle are made from forged aluminium, which reduces the unsprung masses of the wheel locating components by around 3 kg compared to steel construction. In addition, a racing-derived rigid connection, dispensing with rubber bushings, is used to fix the lightweight steel grid-type rear axle subframe to the body. This further improves wheel location and tracking stability. The manual gearbox has an engagement control function which blips the throttle on downshifts and lowers the engine's revs on upshifts. This makes gear changes smoother for additional stability during hard driving on the track. The MDCT has its own tricks as well. Other than throttle blipping, there's also the stability clutch control (SCC) function which disengages the clutches when necessary to prevent oversteer. There's also the smoky burnout function, which invites the driver to indulge in a degree of rear wheel spin while the car is moving at low speeds. The BMW 1 Series M Coupe retailed for Rm509k in Malaysia when it was launched in 2012. Factor in the sad state of our exchange rate, Could we be looking at about RM 550k for the new BMW M2 Coupe?